Good morning, everybody. So it is 10:30. I'm going to give it a minute here for everybody to join us. Today we will be making this awesome little tray. Look how stinking cute. Really cute. So the Teir Tray is what we're making today. All right, I'm going to get you guys set up over here and get started. All right, let me see here. Something is going on with my phone. Oh, I am on something. Let me see here. There we go. Okay. All right. Put you guys up here. And like I said, we're going to give it a couple minutes for everybody to join us. You got one. Awesome. Sorry, making you dizzy there with the phone. All right, we will be making this Teir Tray today. You guys aren't going to be able to really see me today because I need to use my sink area. And unless I bend down and look at the camera, you can't see me. So you guys get to look at my beautiful countertop covered with a old screen today. All right, so I have a couple of you. I'm gonna go ahead and start. I'll bring this a little closer just to show you guys this is what we'll be making, okay? It's really cute. You got your two trays along with the wine glass and then just some decor and doilies, okay? So the first thing I wanted to start with, which the first part of this will be used on, I think it's Saturday's video as well. So I'm not gonna repeat it. You know, and I'll put a link to this one just so you guys can go back and review it if you need to, or whoever is watching my Saturday video. Okay, so the first step we need to do is dye the doilies, all right? And we're going to do that by using some coffee. Just gonna set that back over here. So a list of everything you guys need, I think I did post it. If you're just joining me and you have no clue what you need, I'll go over it real quick. So you'll need some paper doilies. All right, these are just from the dollar store. I just got the two different sizes that fit into my trays. You'll need some sort of, these are just the gas stove top covers, the round ones. So you can either use these, they're a little flimsier than what I would have liked, but they work and that's what I had. So I'm just gonna go with it. And they come in a pack of 4. So you can make 2 of these trays or you can make them taller. It's up to you. So any type of bowl or plate, or if you have like a decorative dish, those are cute too. The dollar store has a whole bunch of stuff like that. So you can get a pack of 4 of these, I think for like $3 or something at like Big Lots or somewhere. So I'm gonna use those. So doilies, the trays or bowls. You'll need some sort of little floral thing if you really want to stick something in the middle of your wine glass for this. So you'll need, I just had some old flowers upstairs, fake flowers that have fuzzies on them, laying around, so I got those. You'll need a wine glass or any type of glass like this, or a candlestick would work too if you have a candlestick. Sorry, I'm backwards again today. I have to remember the direction I'm going in here. So wine glass, all right. You'll need some Gorilla Glue or Crazy Glue. I tried to use hot glue for this project and that was a big mistake. It just fell apart. It was too heavy. So I would use something a little bit better. Okay, so Crazy Glue or Gorilla Glue. This stuff is awesome. It's not very cheap, but it's good to use. All right, and then you also need, of course, coffee. Okay, all right, and oh, scissors. You'll need scissors and a pencil too. All right. Okay, guys, so we'll go ahead and get started. I just have my old cookie tray here. This is the one I use for my crafts. So I made some coffee. I think this works best if your coffee is still hot. So if you have some today in your coffee maker that you just didn't, let me turn you guys a little bit here. It's bothering me. My phone's like not positioned. Okay, there we go. The hot coffee works the best. So if you have some old coffee from like yesterday, put it in your microwave for a couple seconds and put it on your tray. All right, so in order to dye those doilies, just like I did if you join me at my one of my very first videos, I did the coffee filter flowers, this is the same type of way I'm doing this almost, okay? So I'm just going to get my coffee and I'm going to pour. You don't need a whole bunch, just enough. Right. Okay. And I'm going to get my doilies here. Oh, and you'll need a hair dryer too if you wanted to like speed this process up, which I'm going to use because you guys know me and my hair dryer. But I'm just going to soak these in the coffee for just a minute or two, and make sure you're doing one by one. Don't let them stick together too much because then they're hard to get apart. But if you're just overlapping them like that, you should be fine. Just so you can grab one and the other. And I'm going to let them soak. I'm just doing each side so it's coated really well. Make sure you have a towel because it can get a little messy. All right. So I tried leaving them soak a long time. I don't think there's much of a difference. I think they just soak up whatever they need and then they're pretty much done. So if you wanted to do this in a color and not just the cream rustic look, you guys could use water and food coloring as well. That way you can get like a color. You can get like a red or a blue or a green or purple or whatever color you would want. You can also do that with these, okay? I got some comments here. Let me look. Good morning, Lori. Hi, Jill. Awesome. Welcome to my page. Sorry you can't really see my face today. The project is more important than seeing me. So, yeah, but good morning. Welcome to the page. First time viewer, Jill. That's awesome. I hope you enjoy it. All right. So these should be soaked up pretty well now. Like I said, it doesn't take long. You don't need to leave them in there very, very long. So I'm just going to take one out now. I have these old window screens. These I bought in like bulk the one day at one of the flea markets I was at. So this is kind of like my one that I use for all my projects. It's kind of like my crappy one. As you guys can see, it has stuff all over it from me using it all the time. But when I'm doing projects like this that need to dry pretty quickly, this is what I use. I just use my sink and then I use the screen, which allows the air to go right through the project. So I'm just going to lay that on there just like that, okay? And they dry pretty quickly, all right? So I'm going to use my hair dryer. Sorry, gonna be a little bit loud here for a second. Alright, so I kind of covered up my volume. Hopefully you guys that helped a little bit. Alright, so you see how quickly that dried. It's very quickly. Now it looks more rusticy. It's really, really nice and cute now. Okay, got the cream color to it. Alright, so I'm going to set that one aside here. That is all done. Move you guys back up. Sorry, I'm bumping my camera a lot this morning. Okay, and then the second one, I'm going to do the same thing with this one. This one's a little bit larger. And you guys can get a pack of these. I think there's 32 paper doilies, all different sizes in one pack at the dollar store. So if you guys are going to the Dollar Tree or something, these are something to pick up that you can use them on anything. And I'm actually doing 2 projects this week with these. So if you stay tuned for Friday, we're gonna be doing this same process, the same thing I'm doing right now. We're just making something different with them. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and dry this again. needs to dry, but we can do other stuff. It's pretty dry, it just has a couple spots. But you can see how pretty those look now. They look old and rustic. Hi, Mom! Tammy Reger. She is my mother-in-law. Good morning. All right, so those are your 2 little sheets, and I'll just hold up ones that I didn't do just so you guys can see here. Let me grab one out of here. It's kind of hard to see the difference unless they're side by side. So if you're looking, it might be hard to see because of the lighting anyway, but this is definitely a lot whiter and these are a lot creamier colored. All right, so that's kind of what the coffee does. It looks really pretty. Like I said, you can use different colors if you want to. I just use the coffee because I have a lot of creams in my house and I love that old rustic look. All right, so you can put these aside for right now, and we will go ahead and start on the next thing here. Actually, I lied. We're not gonna put these aside yet. All right, so you're gonna grab your bottom one. We'll need it. I lied. All right, and then you're gonna get your wine glass. So you're positioning these in the middle of your tray. All right, now this is tricky because you have to glue the cup to the tray. So unless you're Mod Podging this on here, which I tried it and I didn't really care for the look that it gave it actually, and I love Mod Podge. I wanted it to look more just like a doily laying on something. So I didn't want to glue it down or Mod Podge it and then glue the cup on it. So what I had to do was actually cut a ring out in the center of here for my cup to touch the tray. So I'm just going to guesstimate here, and I'm just going to draw a circle right on the middle of my doily here, just like that. Make sure it's the whole way around so when you're cutting it, you're cutting evenly. All right, so I have my little cutout where that cup needs to sit in the middle of there. So I'm going to get my scissors, and it doesn't matter where you start. I'm just gonna cut a slit the whole way up into that circle. Now you can cut on the opposite side of your line because you're gonna need a little bit more room. You don't want to cut on the inside of it, you want to cut on the outside because you're going to need more room for that cup to fit in there. So I'm just going to neatly cut it out. And you don't see the center of this because we're going to actually use some Spanish moss, which is another thing you actually need for this project that I forgot to tell you in the beginning of this video. But you'll need some Spanish moss, or if you have like Easter grass or anything, if you're a person who likes the bright colors, you can use Easter grass, you can use rocks, you can use anything. Actually, rocks might actually look really pretty with this, so if you wanted to use that kind of stuff, you could. All right, I'm not good at cutting out circles, so just bear with me here. All right, so got my little circle out of the center here, and I'm just going to make sure that that cup fits right in there, and then that lays nicely. You don't want it crinkled like this. You want it to fit perfectly around there so you don't see this line at the end, all right? Because you're gonna actually, you can even tape this if you wanted to, or glue it, that's fine. But I'm just leaving mine like that because I'm gonna decorate it around here with stuff anyway. So you're never gonna be able to tell that it's there, okay? So that fits nicely, you can glue that right on there. All right, so now you can set your doilies. It's kind of like a tree skirt, actually. That's what it reminds me of. So you can set your little doilies aside. And we're going to go ahead and glue our cup to the center of the tray. All right, so before I do that, I'm going to get my little flowers. All right, let me see here. Good morning, Angie. All right, don't drink coffee. Jill, yes, it actually might. If you get, if you have chalk paint, make sure it's a water-based paint. If you're using acrylic paint with water, it's not going to mix. So what you could actually do is use chalk paint, water it down extremely thin, and just get like a paintbrush and just brush over it, or even like a sponge brush and just sponge over it, and then let those dry. It should give it that same look. It might look a little bit different than what mine do. So if you have cream chalk paint, if you want this look and you don't drink coffee, you could do like, if you have tea, maybe try some tea. Tea might even work if you're a tea drinker. or you could use the chalk paint or a water-based paint, water that down really, really thinly and dab it. It might do the same thing. I've never tried it, but I don't know why it wouldn't work. As long as it's a water-based paint, it should work for you. So hopefully it does. You'll have to let me know if you try it. All right, so what we want is we want this to stick inside of here, and we want it to look pretty and decorative, all right? And then that's gonna be our center of our tray there. So pretty. All right, so to hold this in place, I did use Spanish moss, and then that'll cover also where I cut that hole out in the doily. So let me grab some Spanish moss here. This stuff is messy, so I brought my whole bag down. And if you guys don't have doilies, you can also use burlap and stuff as well. That should work, you know, if you don't like doilies or if you don't have any. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of ball this up here a little bit. I'm gonna see how much of it I need. I need a little bit more. I love Spanish moss, but it's such a messy thing. It gets everywhere. All right. So I'm just gonna kind of clean off my little tray there. All right, so I just want to make sure I have enough of that. That should cover that bottom circle, and that should hold those flowers in place. So I'm just going to grab this. Now this is kind of the hard part because you got to kind of hold everything and add glue, so it's kind of hard to do. So I'm just going to put those flowers in the center of my Spanish moss, and I'm going to bend them out wherever I want them, because once you have them in there, you can't fix them. It's kind of like a one try thing unless you take it apart and do it again. All right. These flowers don't bend too easily, so they kind of just go their own way. All right, that looks pretty. I'm going to just cut anything that I don't like off of here so I don't have to rearrange this. That looks pretty good. And then you're just going to put that over top of your Spanish moss. And you can kind of adjust it a little bit before you put the glue and everything on it. So that looks pretty. Looks like a little garden in there. It's adorable. All right, so I'm gonna kind of hold this. I don't have extra hands here with me today, so I'm going to try to do this on my own. Okay, so if you have an extra hand at home, this might be a good one. Somebody can hold this because you can't really put this down. It's gonna get all messy. So I'm guesstimating where the center of my tray is here. Just looking at it, you could even get your doily if you want, if it'll help you, and place it there just to give you an idea where the exact center is. And then you're just going to get your crazy glue, all right? And you're just going to, hopefully this comes out. Yeah, it does. Okay. Line that wherever you think that little cup is going to sit. I'm going to remove my doily just because I don't want to get it through there. And I'm going to quickly just put that down right on top of there. And that looks about centered. You can move it a little bit. If you kind of get the glue on it and move it, it still moves. So you have some working time. It's not like it's immediately adhered to that tray. And then I just go around, and I might even actually wait until this is all dry and then cut those. All right. So if you see any extra glue that you don't want to see, you can get your finger and wipe it off. But that looks pretty centered. It looks cute. All right. Good. And it's always easier looking down, and it's hard for me to look down when I'm at my sink. So if you want to put this together actually on your floor, it helps you because then you're getting like an overview of it, so it'll help you see exactly where the center of that is and where you need to place that. All right. And not gluing your doily down first, that also helps you to clean this. You know, dust and stuff settles, even if you do glue it and everything. If you think about it, dust and everything would settle into there. So that's why I kind of didn't want to glue these too. That was another reason. That way you can just remove them, wipe your tray down, and put it back on. Or if you're getting sick of seeing these, you can replace them with something else. Change them out for the holiday. All right, so I need to let that sit for a while, and we'll add our top tray. That way it all sits together. So you're just going to use the bottom of your wine glass to glue this tray to now. All right, so that's your 2 tiers. All right, let me go ahead and get my glue. And this one's probably the hardest in order to eyeball to make sure you're on there straight. So I'm going to add the glue to this base, okay? And wine glasses, they're pretty flat, except for right in the center of here. So you can kind of add the glue up and about until here, because then they just kind of go in and that glue doesn't have anything to touch. So I'm going to go ahead and set that down. Don't mind me, I'm just kind of trying to see if I have it in the center or not. It's drying pretty quickly today, actually. Just seeing, it's really hard for me to tell here. All right. I think it looks pretty good. You guys might see something different than what I see, but I think it looks kind of close to where it needs to be. Let me see. I'm gonna kneel up on my chair here and see if that helps me just a little bit. All right. Yeah, that looks about decent. Okay. So it looks pretty even to me. All right, so I'm gonna go down here and just cut off all my little extra pieces that I don't wanna see and clean up the bottom of my tray now that that glue is drying a lot now. You could even get like an X-Acto knife if you're really picky, but your doily should cover most of this up if you can't. If you glued, like I did, I kind of glued a couple pieces here on accident. If you have that, your doily should cover it, so don't worry too much about that. All right. Good. All right, so I'm just going to get my little cloth here, and I'm not going to turn this over yet because it's still not, the top of it's still not dry and the bottom's kind of tacky still. Just gonna wipe that out. And there we go. And you guys can paint the trays too. I just like the black. I thought it matched my house kind of pretty well, so I just left them black. But you can use chalk paint and do that kind of stuff too if you would like. So I'm going to put my doily on here. It'll go around just like a tree skirt there. Fits in there perfectly. Looks good. And that's kind of how you can tell if you were off at all in the centering. But it looks pretty good. And then my top one just sets right on top of there. Really, really cute. Easy to clean, easy to dust. You just take that off, dust it off, put it back on. So really cool. And you got your little, hopefully I don't break this lifting it up, you got your little floral stuff inside there, which looks awesome. I love how that looks. I think it looks so cute. Gives it an extra little cute touch. And then to decorate it with, you know, just to make this video a little bit longer, move this over here. I just have some succulents. Fake ones, of course, all right, as you can see. So I'll be using those, and I'm going to use some Spanish moss just to add to my center there. All right. Move this tray out of the way for a second, because I will be using this in a couple minutes to finish my other project. All right. Okay, so I'm going to grab some Spanish moss here. I'm just going to separate it a little bit and just make a kind of like a glob of it. And I'm going to put it right in here. Or if you want to cover up your little area here where those two pieces come together, you can do that. You can just set that there, and then you're just going to add your little flower or succulent or whatever you have right into there. And let that Spanish moss kind of stick out all over the place there, just to give it some cuteness there. Okay, perfect. Awesome. All right, so there's that little piece. Like I said, this stuff's messy. You can also get the Spanish moss at the dollar store. So all this stuff you can technically get at the dollar store. I don't know about the stovetop covers that I'm using. I don't know if they have those. They might. or you could just use bowls and stuff. But they have they have the wine glasses, they have the doilies. I think they actually have little succulents now, which is really cool. They have the Spanish moss in a little baggie. You get pretty much of it. I think it's in a bag like that big, and it's pretty full, so you get a lot of it. So you can get pretty much all of this at the Dollar Tree for $1. So really, if you think about it, if you're paying $1 for each item, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, $7 maybe. You can make this pretty cheap. All right, so same thing here. I'm just gonna kind of ball this up and make it kind of like a little, almost like you would separate mashed potatoes for some gravy. That's how I always think about it when I'm doing that. And I'm just going to stick that little succulent right in the middle there. Puff out that Spanish moss. And you have it there. And then, you know, whatever you want to use, if you're using this in your kitchen, you can add some salt and pepper shakers to the side. I made some wooden coasters a while back that we use in our home, and I just kind of set those on there just because it matches it. But, oh goodness, it is really bad outside today. My window's like blowing. I can feel the cold air coming from outside. But that's pretty much it, you guys. It is really simple, really cute, really quick. So if you're looking for a project and you're not a really crafty person, this is a good one, because there's not a lot of painting, there's not a lot of like artsy stuff. It's just simple. So, you know, as long as you have something, you know, like your doilies or your burlap, if you don't want to use doilies, or even a little bit of fabric, you can just trace your tray here on the fabric, cut it out. There's many different ways you guys can do this, and I'm sure this isn't the first one of these that you've seen. They're all over Facebook, they're all over Pinterest, but this is just the way I did mine, and there's a billion other ways to do them. But I try to direct my crafts more around just the simple, you know, non-expensive materials. So this is what I came up with. But I think it turned out pretty cute. All right, if you guys have any questions, I'm gonna turn you towards me, you can let me know. Oh, thank you, Lori. Yes, it was really easy, really simple. Like when I, you know, looked at doing this, I'm like, oh, that's pretty simple. And then I did it and I was like, wow, that was really simple. There's not a lot to it. And for something so cute and cheap, it worked really awesome. Thank you, Tammy. Yes, it is. It did turn out really cute. And there's other ways, of course, you guys can do them as well. So, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Thank you so much for viewing. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have an awesome day. You can join me tomorrow. And we'll do another project 10:30, same time. Okay. I'm trying to think. I think I'm doing, oh wait, I have my sign here. I am doing, oh, the garden sign. So I think it's the next picture. If you go back to my timeline where my schedule is for this week, it's the second picture or the third picture. It's the little garden sign out of, it was a piece of log. So there's everything that you need for that one on there too. If you don't have a piece of log sitting around the house, which is random, I know that, you can use a piece of wood or you can use cardboard, anything. All right, now I'll teach you guys how to do that. All right, thank you so much for viewing, you guys. And aw, hi Angel, sorry. I didn't want to miss your comment before I logged off here. Add a bunny to it. Yes, you can. You can add a bunny to it. Absolutely. You can add whatever you would like to it. And I'm sure the Dollar Tree has a lot of cute little Easter decorations too. Oh, you too, Mom. You have a good day. Love ya. But thank you guys so much for viewing, and I'll see you tomorrow, 10:30, same time. All right, and have an awesome day and stay healthy and safe. Okay, you guys? All right, bye-bye. See ya.